is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun. This is where the fun. This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
I'm reading the chat. If you start 1 minute late, everyone's like, "There goes, they're on J time now." Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome
Sorry,
to the
chat.
show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Toy Anxiety. Can I tell you guys I forgot that it was Tuesday? I was napping minutes ago, and there was like a TV show. I woke up and I said, it was like the Muppets. I was like, we gotta put a show on tonight.
You didn't set an alarm? You took
You
a
did, you
nap
just kind of
without an
ignored it.
alarm on a show night? That's
Oh yeah.
dangerous.
It's
I
living
did
on
wake-
the edge.
I woke up and it was dark, and I went, "What have I done?" Hi,
Have you
everybody,
seen
welcome
that
to the
gif
show.
of that dog waking up, like, in the car, and his tongue's,
No.
like, hanging out, and is like, that's kind of what you look like right now.
I feel better than I look.
That's good.
If you knew my family,
That's cool.
the Goldberg family motto is always look
Wait,
better than you
us?
feel.
Oh, your
I-
real family.
My real
Yeah.
family.
Our
Welcome to
family
the sh-
motto is do the goddamn podcast.
Abby, they're commenting on your hair already.
Thanks. I went and saw my stylist who I love, Annie, and she did a great job. So
did
yeah, I
great.
feel good. She does like a head massage and I
What?
needed it. So yeah,
Is
dude.
that extra?
Dude, she gave
or-
me a jade eye mask. And I could like just see out the bottom to
Oh.
watch like all the other people in the salon, like a little voyeur. So I loved it. Perfect.
Wait, where do you go to get your hair?
Yeah,
cut?
what are you
That's not
talking about? How much did this cost? It's like
I mean, I feel like the services should have been. I mean, it was a little bit. I pay for what I get, but she's awesome and talented. And it was at Common.
you're being really weird right now.
Yep.
I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, God. Sorry, Annie. I don't think she's watching.
Welcome to the
cool.
show, everybody. Thanks for being here. So let's tonight we've got we're gonna kind of divide the show in half. We got a traditional Toy Anxiety happening for the first half, and then at around the 10:15 mark, we're gonna bring in the Toy DNA, the Cursed Dead project. It's in its last days. Jesse Falcon's here. He's backstage watching already, and then I think some more folks are going to be joining. He just waved. You guys didn't see it, but it
Yeah,
was
make
awesome.
some noise, chat.
Well, he just did devil
I don't
horns.
hear you.
I'm gonna give you guys a play-by-play of Jesse Falcon.
Yeah.
And now,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's great that Jesse's here because I feel he might not know this, but because we talk Marvel Legends, because we have Ryan Ting on all the time. It's been a while,
all the
but
time.
all the time.
Well, it feels like I have them on all the time. We're always chatting.
Yeah, you're always
Yeah,
chatting.
well, same show. It's all the
Same
same.
show. So
Yeah,
there's connection here. So it's great. But let me go ahead and introduce my co-hosts all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia. Ryan Dole. What's up, man?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble this weekend.
me
And I'm
too.
excited. It's WrestleMania
Oh,
season. So
Are we
I'm-
doing a thing?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
doing a
for
Is
thing.
sure.
that
are.
this weekend? When is it? Is it Sunday?
Saturday.
Yeah, I've got the day off for it.
Yeah, dude.
Can't wait.
Yeah, well,
I'm
if you're not in, we always do it out of the Facebook group. So join Yes Have Some Group Therapy on Facebook. We'll do our annual Royal Rumble pool, which Jacob won one year. It was very controversial.
I did. It was amazing.
It was very
It
cool.
was so good.
But
Oh,
Ryan, what's
yeah.
going on, man? Yeah, it's a big week for wrestling.
Big week for wrestling. I don't know. Otherwise, everything's pretty good. Things are chill. It's nice. It's quiet. Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. It's a big
You
week
went
for
to wrestling
wrestling.
last night. Yeah.
I did. We're going to talk about it. Abby and I were at Monday Night Raw last night. It's
Mm-hmm.
great. It's they had various influencers and streamers on the show, and Ryan was upset that it wasn't us.
Yeah. It's,
Mhm.
I
Wait,
was.
what were the? Why did they have influencers and streamers on the show?
Well, for Logan
what
Paul was
Netflix-
there. He's the
Yeah.
biggest one
Yeah,
of
but
all.
that doesn't count as he was wrestling. It's
They
not
were
as if they
local
were like, it's not as if he
celebrities.
was like podcasting.
Mhm.
And other stream. I don't understand the Twitch streaming world, but apparently the guy that was there is one of the biggest ones, and the kid next to me was losing his mind.
Mhm.
And I was like, if he only knew that Craig from Toy Anxiety was sitting next to him.
That kid doesn't know I was on set of the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Clearly, I mean, slime. This kid doesn't know it.
No, I told him. It was the first thing I tell people. Jacob Walsh, what's up, man?
Hey, not too much. Just having a good day. Hey, I wanna show this is. I don't want to show this off for pickups because it's not a toy, but
Okay.
I want to show it off because we're not doing a regular YHS.
Okay.
And listen, I'm not showing this off. I'm just gonna show it.
Okay.
I bought Terrifier 3 on VHS today
Oh, cool.
in Walmart, which is insane.
Oh, that is weird.
And I didn't buy this because I think this is a great movie. It's not. But it's a VHS that was on a shelf in a Walmart store.
In a Walmart.
And I want to
Mhm.
support that. And I think
Yeah.
we should all support VHS coming back. So go buy it and then put it on eBay because people are having a hard time finding these. So even if you don't want to keep it,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Okay.
sell
Don't
it for
sell-
50
don't-
bucks.
Don't yeah. How much
Uh,
do you charge for that?
Start scalping.
It was $30. It's a 2-tape. It's got some special features on it. It has the complete movie. It has a featurette, and then it also has a sticker.
There you go.
It says it's a scratch and sniff sticker, and I do not want to know what that.
Yeah, what's the smell?
Terror?
smells like? But
Terror.
well, Davey, that's what I'm saying. I didn't really like this movie either, but it's VHS, so I'm gonna buy it, and maybe at some point I'll put it on and watch it again. But I just think it's important to support the things you want. So
Chad Stewart,
Mhm.
$5 super chat. Sucky 52nd birthday at work, but thank God for Toy Anxiety. Well, happy birthday.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
happy birthday! Yeah,
We had another
I was about to say I think there's another.
we had a Brian Brink, $4.99. Here's a tip for Annie. Great job.
I'll get that to her. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a typo. It was supposed to say Annie, not Abby. Annie
Yeah, that's my
is- if you
hairstylist
missed the
name.
beginning-
That's what I said. Yeah.
there you go.
Mhm.
Abigail, how are you?
I'm great. Had the hot towel treatment and I feel amazing. I
You
definitely
feeling better?
needed it.
You were a
Yeah.
little sick and now you're better.
Yeah, I was sick. I had I guess it was the flu for a few days. But I beat it and I'm here now. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has reached out and sent messages to me over the last week. Because it's been kind of a rough one. So thank you to people who have said really kind, encouraging things. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you all for being here. We're gonna have fun. I'm
We're gonna have
excited.
fun.
We've got a guest. It's gonna
We've
be a
got
good night.
guests. We're going to talk about toys. We're going to talk about Kickstarters. It's going to be great. We're going to celebrate independent toy making, and we're going to look forward to a fun couple of months ahead. We got fun stuff coming up. We've got Toylanta's coming up. We've got Star Wars Celebration. We got San Diego Comic Con. We got it. This is going to be a
Toy Fair?
year. Oh yeah, Toy Fair.
yeah.
It's like, hey, do you want to name the thing that's very relevant to the show?
Very soon, very soon.
Toy Fair. And
I'm not going to any of those.
yeah,
It's
you
just-
are.
We
I know
should-
you are.
We're gonna make it happen.
You literally will be there. We're all going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So,
Mhm.
all right, and oh yeah, the Jeffries, which we've locked in a date.
Mm-hmm.
The Jeffries are back, much like the Jedi Returned. In
Oh,
a
I was
movie
going to say
called.
Will Smith.
Much
Mm.
like,
I'm
can
not
you guys
back.
believe it? Will Smith.
I'm not back.
And there's so many people that are back that we didn't think would be back, but the Jeffries are back, and we're excited about it.
And
So
wait, hold on. Are you gonna
Yeah.
say the date or
yes, Tuesday, February 18th, 2025.
that's not a good date for me?
Abby's out.
I was doing like a
back.
fun pretending to type thing and I exited. I'm here now.
Why are you
Yeah.
pretending? to
So I
type?
wanted to do a goof.
Is that a thing you do now?
Yeah, I'll be doing pranks throughout the show. Just Watch out.
Just a rib. It's just a rib, guys.
Just a
Look
rip.
at this cool prank Abby's doing.
So February 18th, the Jeffries return after a year hiatus. We will be doing our 2025 award show. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be great, and we just have to, film everything for it in the next couple weeks, as usual. So,
Told you. Told you. Told you.
well, what are we gonna do?
We have plans.
We have plans. We all have plans.
Mhm.
It's gonna be great. We have plans. I've got a couple fun ideas. I do. It's gonna be good. But if anybody wants to submit content or sketches,
No, we're
Nope.
not doing.
Oh, we're not
fans
doing
again.
that.
No.
We want to.
I
Oh
would
my
cancel
God.
the Jeffries before we.
You don't have to work for it.
Craig, stop talking. Jeffries on the 18th. Let's move on.
Yeah.
be
We're
there.
doing it.
Let's say hi to the chat. Johnny Cock is here. Chris B. Where'd he go? Chris B. Jason Grahowski, Free Reign, Toy Collector Magazine. Hi, Blake. Blake's killing it as usual. Country Boy Niner. Free Reign, AJ Quick. Wow, Jacob's birthday. Almost. Davey Sockrocker.
yeah.
Randall Gusick is here. Z-Man at the party. Matt Bush. Who else do we got? Dora Laxon, Steven Lawrence. Peak Obi-Wan, Chad Stewart, The Culture Vulture, Toymanoids, Stanley Eberhardt, Gotham Stalker. We said Chad Stewart earlier, we'll say it again. Tony Johnson, Bitter Troll is here, T Molly 86. So many people. Video Power Gaming, hello. Elko 84, Mint with Card. I'm gonna have to talk to you soon.
Also, thank you.
I'm
That's a
always
weird- Hey, that's out of context. Weird thing to say.
weird thing to say, but I
Yep.
would like to talk to most of our
Yep.
listeners.
Yeah.
Playing with
Was that a
myself.
threat?
Yeah, it sounds not great.
Yeah. What?
Great. Louis Ballesteros.
Once a
What-
night, you.
Oh my god,
Sorry.
what just happened?
Hmm.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. Something just happened to my screen where everything's really big now and I can only see the chat. Let
Guys,
me-
we have a guest tonight. Can we get it together?
All right. I might have to reload and go away for a second and come back. All I see is a close up of Jacob's face, very large right now. It's very cool. Well, I'll do that.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave
nice.
I'm gonna leave for 2 seconds, but you guys will probably be fine without me, right?
Well, we'll start.
Yeah, we
pickups.
can talk about
Well,
the
you get out
Jeffries.
of here, and we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what we're doing with pickups. Ryan, you got any pickups?
Okay, thank God he's gone. Let's talk
Yeah.
shit about Craig for this.
Really? What a drag, right?
God, he's such a bummer.
Now that Craig's gone,
Yeah, let's go
Jeffries
into some
is
pickups.
not happening.
Yeah.
Jeffries, we're just singing Wicked songs and we're gonna film it. That's pretty much it.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
We're just gonna recreate a
Well,
music.
now you're blurry.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's fine.
It's acceptable. You're good.
All right.
All right. Well, what are we doing?
Yeah, you're
Pickup.
AJ.
I do have some pickups though.
Yeah,
for
go
it.
for it. Let's do some pickups.
Oh.
God damn it.
All right, let's see if this will go. I have some Matt Bush pickups. He's clearly listening to the Toy Geeks with Dan Larson and Geek Dad Jay. I got a
So,
snowcat
DeLorean?
with Frostbite. It is a GI Joe vehicle. I also
Wow.
got a Lady J as well because snow vehicles belong in Canada. That's how this works. For anyone who doesn't know anything about GI Joe, all cold weather related vehicles and characters are Canadian.
Mm.
That's just how it is. I don't make the rules. It's just
Canon.
that's how it is. So like I have to be very careful with it. It is super brittle in some parts. So, but it's
That's a good
super
vehicle.
awesome, and I love it.
That's
It's a
great
good vehicle. And then the last bit of the Matt Bush pickups. These are all my pickups, by the way.
Okay.
I am now basic retro Kenner Batman Returns Elite.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Look at that
Nice.
packaging.
These are very so. This is the, right. That's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez.
Yes.
Right. This is
Who
all
is,
amazing stuff.
Who is Batman tracking in the jungle?
Predator.
That's what I was
When
thinking.
When does he have to?
And
He lives in Gotham
Predator,
City. What is he doing?
Poison. Swamp Thing, maybe.
It's good for Swamp Thing.
I think Swamp
I don't
Thing
know.
lives in the swamp.
Maybe.
Yeah, of the deep south.
Night Climber.
Okay,
Batman,
that makes that
which is
checks out.
different
That
than
makes
Day
sense, yeah.
Climber Batman.
Climbs at night.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep, that's
Look
a
at
good
that
one.
nice
We're more
blue.
dangerous,
Nice.
cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Nice, cool. And it's got to be yellow if it's wet related. So Hydrocharge, Batman.
Did you say
with
if
the
it's
yellow.
wet?
More
If
yellow.
it's wet related?
These are great because the other. Well, the other one that's yellow is Deep Dive Batman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
deep
and he's
dive.
got the yellow suit. This one's Hydrocharge Batman, and
I
also
love that.
Ryan,
have
are you
yellow
are
suit.
you opening those?
I love it too. No.
Okay, that's why I was asking. They look like they just came off the truck.
Yeah.
There it is. If it's yellow, let it
Yeah,
mellow.
these are really good condition, and they're really nice. So I'm just like, no, I'll hang them up. These are beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Thank you
I've got
very
that
much,
Hydro.
Matt Bush. These are very, very much appreciated.
Those are
I've
pretty.
got
looking
Hydro
too.
Charge Batman. I love that suit. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Very cool.
Jacob, do you have
Yeah,
pickups?
it's cool.
Yeah, I do.
All right,
You want me to do it? I'll do
let's
it.
go for it. I got a
I'll
bunch
do it.
too, so go for it.
I showed off on the show maybe a year or so ago. There's this line that I like to collect. It's a Godzilla line. It's called Godzilla Land, which is some of you might remember. It's like this old like educational Godzilla cartoon. It's very cute. They made some toys and stuff from it, but it's really it's hard to find. You don't see it for sale very often. The things that I got, I've only seen them for sale twice, and I bought them both times. But they're these erasers. Now these are a little bit different than the regular Keshi. These are about twice the size, and they're based off the Godzilla Land version. So we got the pink Mechagodzilla here. We got a pink.
I love
Baragon.
Keshi, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Baragon.
We got
That's so
Baragon
cute.
here.
I need
Then
one
we
more Baragon.
got the pink Gigan. Look at that.
Nice.
That is a
Nice,
good.
nice, nice.
That's a good Gigan
Nice.
right there.
Little cuties.
That's a good one.
That's good.
And then we got Mogera, one of the most useless kaiju in the kaiju universe. Mogera, right there.
Well, till he became an eraser.
This is the
Now-
greatest thing he's ever done. Is this?
Mm.
And then we also
Beware
got,
pencil.
we also got the green Godzilla.
Oh, that's good.
Love these. These are awesome. I had
that's
like an eBay watch. Here are the other ones I own right over here. You can see them chilling. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, as
Very
soon
cool.
as these popped up, I was like, I need those. So
That's great.
yeah, that's what I got. These are my pickups.
All
Nice.
right, Abigail.
Yeah. Got a
Let's just
couple
knock them
things.
all out. I've got a bunch of stuff, so go for it.
Yeah, we'll just keep rolling. Yeah, I'll start off with the Matt Bush pickups. Thank you so much to Matt. You're always a huge supporter of all of us, and you know our taste and things. So just thank you before I show these things off. The first thing is not a toy, and I don't want to get any shit from anybody. It's a book. But it's something that I announced on the show that I'm collecting and want. So this is a book. It's Wicked's Son of a Witch. It's an exclusive Barnes & Noble book. It's sealed. It's got really great artwork, and it's reflective. So I'm excited to have this and hold this. And I'm showing Jacob because he's looking closely. And by the way, Jacob, I looked through that the like visual like art book of the Broadway production. I spoiled myself completely. I now know everything that's gonna
I
happen.
thought I would have told you not to check it out, but I thought you
kinda
already
wanted
knew
to, like,
everything. So
because I consider myself like a serious fan now. So I was like, as a real fan, I should know what's gonna happen.
you should know. I
Um,
mean,
Yes.
it's been out there since 2003. So
Again,
it's-
yeah, that's
it's
why.
fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and also Matt Bush sent me this really fun little one too, which is a Polly Pocket Care Bears. Very cute. You know, I love the pinks and the purples. And the blues. Those are my favorite colors. So yeah, that's adorable. I used to collect Polly Pockets, so I'm excited to pop that open. Polly Pockets like the Micro Machines if they were more fun. And then I have one last thing that I'm going to show off that I love the most because there was I got him last night and there's a really good memory associated with it. CM Punk. I got the CM Punk plush buddy, which is just, God, he's just so huggable. I loved walking out of the stadium with him like this, like trying to protect him and make sure he was okay as we got through the crowds.
Burping CM Punk.
Yeah, there was like a couple kids looked at me and I was just like, yeah.
A couple kids were looking at Abby very jealously, with jealousy.
Yeah, enviously.
It was really cute when we were in line for merch, and I was like, "What do you want?" She was like, "I want the CM Punk
I want
plushie
this
doll."
little
I was like,
silly
I was like, "Hey, it's called a wrestling buddy."
It's called a wrestling buddy. Yeah, I'm excited to have this. And yeah, it's the one thing I wanted from the merch stand. I saw some stuff. There was a Rhea Ripley shirt that I wanted, but since I didn't see her like fight, I felt like I was like, it's, I don't know. I'll just buy it online if I need it. So now I have this in hand and I love them.
It's very cool.
Can we get Toy Anxiety wrestling buddies?
We actually probably could because
That's a really good idea.
we probably could. The way those are printed, we could probably look into that. But then it's a whole
Patreon.
thing.
We'll do it for Patreon.
Imagine if we had all four and like one of ours wasn't selling as well, or if Abby's was selling really well. It would just be weird.
Craig's like,
pillow.
hold on. Craig's like, imagine if we had all four and then one of them mine isn't selling as well. We
Yeah.
know, Craig.
Oh, the Leonardo. No, dude,
Leonardo.
Craig's
Yeah.
got some staunch
Hey,
fans.
I don't want to be a peg
that-
warmer.
That's why you only sell them as a set.
Yeah,
Johnny
Just
Cock,
get
$5.
back.
Thank you. Look at Jacob's Hall and Abby's sweater. When are Craig and Dole going to rep Godzilla? Happy birthday, Jacob Walsh. We'll rep. I'm going
We'll
to
rep
Japan.
in
Hey,
April.
Hey, listen, I've seen Craig make some very smart Godzilla. Remember when we went to Chicago?
Yeah.
And I remember I felt like a proud father.
Hmm.
Something I don't know much about. And we were at this Godzilla pop-up toy show
Yeah.
that we drove kind of far to get to. All Godzilla toys.
Mm.
And Craig is walking around. It was as if it was the same mode that you pop into when we're at toy shows and you like are circling an item where you try to disappear and you don't want anybody around you.
I get
And
very
you're like,
serious.
where's Craig? And then an hour later you're holding stuff.
Yeah.
And you bought that Haru Nakajima Godzilla and I'm like, that's all you need. If you're gonna buy
Yeah.
one, that's the only one. Like you were like, I know there's a significance and an importance to this figure. I'm gonna buy it. And I was like,
Yeah. Well,
There you go.
I think I might not know exactly what it is, but I knew I liked it. And
Yeah.
then I got it. It was great.
that's how it gets you, dude.
I have a very small
Hey, that's literally
that's
toy
collecting.
collecting. I don't know what it is, but I need
I
it.
saw it. I liked it. I bought it.
All right, I got
kept
some
buying
stuff.
the same thing.
I've got some stuff to show off here. So let me take a deep breath. Let me get organized. I've got some Matt Bush
Yeah, he
stuff.
just woke up, everyone. Give
I
Craig
just
a
woke
break.
up. We've got guests coming on. It's very exciting stuff. Okay, Matt Bush sent this one over. I kind of forgot that I was still collecting this line, and I'm glad that Matt Bush reminded me because this is an awesome figure. Even though Jacob pointed to, I think, my Mechanic figure the other day and goes, "That's not a person." It was very funny. New Eternia, Masters of the Universe, Flying Fist, He-Man. Really good sculpt on this one. I like this one.
That's cool.
Yeah, these are getting better and better. So I'm gonna have to. I haven't been keeping up with what's been announced and what's coming out for New Eternia. So excited about that. And then if you guys see, I started popping open a lot of those classified figures. I did put together my Dragonfly. It's up yonder. But this one caught my. I'm not a completist on this line, but this just was hitting stores. Another classified. This guy just is awesome looking, and his name is so great. It's G.I. Joe, Albert Pine, Alpine. I love that, and he comes with a ton of great accessories, great sculpt, and but if you see, I got quite a few classified figures back there. Okay, Matt Bush has done it again. So Davey, thank you for. We're gonna keep it positive.
Also, call him out, David.
Yeah, no, don't.
I want to
I
know
don't
who it
care.
is.
You're doing that. So if you guys saw a couple weeks ago, Matt Bush had sent me that the ghost buggy that I had and I had parted with And there was another item that I had parted with that Matt Bush, he's listening and he's killing it. This is the Ewok Battle Wagon, Power of the Force, complete. It's got the drum, it's got the skull, it's got the drawstring carriage, it's got this, it's got the little jail to imprison, any Rebel Alliance folks that show up on the
Or Imperials, maybe?
or Imperials. Well, anybody. You shouldn't be.
Whoever.
Listen,
Whoever they want.
this whole war
Ewoks?
that happened on Endor was very disruptive to
The forest
Ewok.
moon of Endor.
The forest
Mhm.
moon of Endor.
Mhm.
Yes. This is amazing. This is a great piece,
Yeah.
and because I have the Ewok village, I've got all of the Ewoks. So you got to have this to complete. I still don't have that damn Ewok glider. I'm buying it at Celebration. Calling it now. But I want one with Japanese packaging. I don't even know if that exists, but we'll see.
It
Whoa.
might.
So yeah, very cool, Matt. I was taken aback by that. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
There's a packing peanut that's inside of it. I'm gonna have to remove that. Hold on.
That's
We'll
a
take
space peanut.
So, yeah.
Hold on.
Do you have to do that now? Like right now?
I know.
I guess he does, huh?
Like
Let's get
while
the
you're
ladder.
still
I
in-
was showing-
Greg is still asleep.
Stop. It came with a ladder too. Okay. Hot Toys. Remember last week what I was saying about my Dark Knight era? It continues. Look at this guy.
Oh.
That's
Look.
there he
Jacob?
is.
do it.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
There
You
he
know
is.
what's good for you? I love Tom Hardy.
There
I
he
love
is.
how much you love that movie too.
Venom.
Venom himself.
Venom. Yes.
This is an awesome figure. I was laughing at myself in the Discord, which is a YHS Patreon exclusive, $5 a month. Yes, I have some Patreon. You get access to the Discord. I didn't put
And
the
you can laugh at Craig too.
listen.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't. Somebody was asking me why I didn't put the trench
Coach.
coat on. I was like, I tested it out, but I didn't want to hide. Look at these muscles. Look at that definition. I didn't want to hide that.
Dude,
that.
you
How do I
can't keep those
display
elbows
my
bent.
man's muscles. I love it.
This is a
think it's
fantastic
fantastic.
figure. They did a great job. So excited about this.
Hey, Craig,
Um,
don't forget, you can't keep the elbows bent
Why?
because
Because it's a hot
the-
toy.
Yes, and the seams will split at the elbow if you,
What?
know.
Really?
if you leave them.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I leave it
If
like,
you
yeah, I'm
leave
gonna.
them bent.
I
like
thought he was
that.
born in the darkness.
He was.
Better
Yeah,
change
he
I'm the
was.
it.
only one. I keep doing the same line.
Hey,
But
we
even-
merely adopted it.
Yes. Well, my funny thing, a friend of ours, a friend of the podcast, Ray Esposito, who runs Ghostbusters Universe News, he produces Broadway shows, and he's part of this production coming up with of Othello with Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal. And I was like, Abby, we got to see this. She was like, yeah, I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like, yeah, but you know who his sister is, right? Maggie Gyllenhaal. You know what movie she was in, right? The Dark Knight. That's Christopher Nolan's Dark
Wait,
Knight.
you
film.
think she's just gonna be there? You think she shows up to every
If she's a supporting sister,
Yeah.
like if she
If you're
loves
not
her
sure,
family,
just start going, Rachel! Rachel!
in the
sure
middle
the
of the show?
I'm sure the
Yeah.
actors would love that. Okay, I've got another hot toy I've got to grab, but it's over there,
Why?
and I can't
you,
reach it.
You've been
Mhm.
buying lots of hot toys.
Yeah.
But
dude, don't forget, you have big trips coming up. Save
No,
your money
listen,
before
these
you have
are
to
my-
sell all of
It's
it.
an
to pay for your
ongoing
trip.
cycle.
Listen.
Go
Hold
get
on.
it. Where is it?
I am, but I haven't opened it yet, so I was gonna share what it is here
Oh, okay.
because I'm just showing the box off, the box office.
Oh.
So Ryan, have at it. Go ham, because I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, this is like the ugliest hot toy like ever made. I do
We
not
own
like
that?
the blue and gray with this suit, and I don't even like that particular blue or that particular gray. But I think this is a cute little fun thing for Craig because Craig is very much in his Dark Knight era of hot toys, premium collectibles.
It's weird that it comes with an apple, but I can't wait to see.
Well, you know what? That's funny too because you don't even eat any fruit. So again, I think you may have wasted more money. But you know what? I'm glad that you're stoked on it. I saw people in the Discord too be like, that looks so cool. I don't know, man. I think if it had like a brighter, vibrant blue with this, I think to make it pop, I think I'd probably be more into it. But you know what? I'm happy that you're happy. And I hope you really enjoy it. And I hope you don't sell it next week.
I'm not gonna sell it. It's still in the box. I'll show it off when I open it. I just think this is cool. It's just it's Fantasyland. It's fantasy booking, but it's the a more comic like color scale or color pattern on the Dark Knight.
Is this
Christian
McFarlane?
Bale. No, it's not. It's not McFarlane. It's
Oh.
Hot Toys.
Oh.
Hot toys.
All right. Okay, I've got one more, and then we'll be winding down and getting to our guests. So this is a little bit different, but it's really cool. And they sent this to us, and I don't know how I'm going to do.
Oh,
this.
is it Magic Mind?
No. It's not Magic Mind. I broke up with Magic Mind. Actually,
We love you all too much.
I broke it up with
What?
Magic
Respect
Mind.
what we do.
I
yeah.
thought they were coming back.
They were going to, but I realized there's absolutely no way we're going to
We
be able
dumped
to.
them.
Yeah.
So this is a company. They reached out. The company is called Bricker Builds, and what they do is these are real Legos, but these are custom designs, and they sent them out. And I want to do some build videos. I think I normally wouldn't do this, but you guys got to understand what these are. Okay, so the first one, Ghost Hunters logo. Okay, listen, it's the Ghost Hunters logo.
That looks
Okay.
like a
And this
sweater
famous
like your
Ghost
aunt would make you for
Yes.
I
Christmas.
know.
Yeah.
So they were nice enough
Yeah.
to send, listen, they sent this out. It's got all the pieces, it's got all the instructions. So the first one is it's a GB logo.
Mhm.
Listen, I don't want to say it's like unlicensed because they're real.
Oh,
they're
I'm
not-
already reporting this to Eric Wright. Stop it.
Yeah, Jason Reitman's not
Listen,
gonna
Like,
have
I'm
it.
shutting these guys down.
this
please-
all down.
Please stop. This is slimy. This is slimy. Look how cute
Oh,
that is.
That's very cute.
That's awesome. I can't wait to
cute.
put this
That
together.
that reminds me
And
of the
very
old.
illegal.
It reminds me of the old ice cream, the slime
Bar.
ice cream bar.
And then
Mhm.
this is the big boy. We got the trap.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool! Holy shit!
This is
Okay, yeah.
crazy cool. I'm excited
Yeah.
about this. I told him I would do a build video, but could you imagine me trying to do this for 17 hours?
how Clay's
Ryan,
gonna
is there
put that together.
I'm
Ryan,
more
is-
likely to build them.
We're
'cause
gonna
I think
do
I have no
something.
experience.
We're gonna do something.
Yeah.
So check out Bricker Builds. They do a lot of different stuff. It's not just Ghostbusters. They have all sorts of I think they're pretty popular too. So they reached out. Super excited, super
Those are
thankful.
cool.
These go on sale, I think, this week. So these, I don't think the Ghostbusters ones are on sale quite yet, but there's a ton of pieces. These are all actual Legos, and yeah, I
Now,
don't
how
know.
big is
Are they
that? How big
actuals?
is that? when
It's like a
put
prop
together?
size. It's
Okay.
the size of a trap,
Wow.
and as usual, we're getting traps before everybody else.
Nice.
I did that one for Mr. Rindall.
Thank you.
I knew he would like it. So yeah, these are awesome. Check out. Thank you. Let's see. Jason Grahowski put the link in the trap or the.
Nice.
Don't put the link in the trap.
Don't put the. That would be bad. Okay. So yeah, those are my pickups. I'm looking. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, I do have one more thing. Duh. We talked about it last night. We went to Monday Night Raw. I did go to the merch stand. The shirt I'm wearing I got last time, but I picked up the CM Punk signed poster. I don't know, $25
Cool.
for a signed poster.
Yeah.
I'm an autograph guy,
Pretty cool.
so I was happy about that. So I got the Cody Rhodes one last time, so now I have two.
Hey,
Um,
speaking of autographs, I am going to get an autograph from Ahmed Best at Celebration.
Oh.
Did you see who they announced for Celebration
that
today?
rules?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'll give you a-
Dawson?
Yeah, she's in the movie Rent and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson's going to be at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, cool.
So I bet we'll get a teaser trailer for episode or whatever that is, season 2 of Ahsoka with Natalie Portman, supposedly.
Whoa, spoilers.
Spoilers. All right, guys. So here's the deal. In 10 minutes, we have our guests are waiting. We're going to be talking about the Cursed Dead, but I wanted to roundtable it. I'm like I said, I am very excited about what I've been doing with Hot Toys recently. I'm excited about the display I've got set up. So I just want to know how everybody's week in toys is going. What's on your mind? What have you been hunting? What are your eBay searches like? It's a little bit of a slower news week, and I want to dedicate the second half of the show to talking about the Cursed Dead Kickstarter and getting to know those guys and hearing all about the that program and that rollout. But for just a few minutes, Ryan, what's your toy week looking like?
Well, I did a couple TVC pre-orders of Lord Balin and Shin Hati.
Okay.
And that's kind of really been
Oh,
it,
we
right?
did
I
have
think
the
that's-
Star Wars. They did a fan stream last Friday.
Yeah.
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you follow up Marvel Legends, you're kind of in trouble.
that's true. But there were some cool reveals, and you pre-ordered some of that stuff, so that's
There's
good.
some, and I pre-ordered the ones that I thought were the coolest. Because again, I'm not trying to just order everything all willy-nilly. Just trying to make sure it's the stuff that I actually want, and I'm just not excited because ooh boy, Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I just got those two. That's really it. It's been. I mean, I feel like it's quiet, but at the same time, I got a little something.
Go some. Jacob, how about you?
I made a pretty rash decision yesterday, actually.
Oh, I think I
I-
heard about this.
I think you did. I think it might have been a mistake, but I'm not sure. But there's a couple toys I had on my top 10 list for the coming year, over at Monster Island. Excuse me, and not like super rare or anything like that, but a couple had come up a couple weeks ago, and I missed them because I was at work. A few more came up yesterday, and I bought one immediately. Put aside my responsibilities, and I said, hey, I should be buying something else for work right now. No, I'm gonna buy this toy. And I bought a toy.
Mhm.
And then the only reason I say I think I made a little bit of a mistake is because at the beginning of the show I got a message from J.K. tagging me in this huge post where somebody was selling more of them,
Oh,
and I think I maybe like the color better of some of them.
Ah.
But I've already
Okay.
bought it, so but it will come in and I'll love it and it will be amazing. And
Sure.
it's already shipped, so it's coming soon. But it's from my top 10 list, so I've already knocked out 2 or 3 figures off of that list. So I'm proud. I'm proud of that. I'm excited.
very cool. Toy Collector Magazine. Toy Collector 16 is at the printer. If you like Thundercats, this is your issue. 24 pages of Thundercats. Toys R Us yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Lost Kenner Superpowers toys. That's going to be good.
Oh, that sounds cool.
They
Ooh,
did announce that Thundercats Motu mashup line that's coming out.
Yeah.
I know Geek Dad Jay covered it pretty extensively. Abby, what's your toy week looking like? How are you? How's your life?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of actually on the hunt. And today I was at Target and didn't see any of them. But I'm on the hunt for some of the Mattel Wicked dolls. So yeah, I want Alphaba. I want all of them.
I think
so,
Walmart
yeah.
still has them.
Walmart's
I
I
got
think
them.
they
Yeah.
do. Yeah, it wasn't like a focused effort to go to Target to get them. I was just offhand kind of looking, but I do need them for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the hunt for that stuff, and kind of saving up for our trip to Japan for like blowing my money on stuff because
Yeah.
there's gonna be so many
Yeah.
things that I need, and I'd rather have
Mhm.
a little savings put
Same.
away.
There you go.
Yeah.
We should talk about this. We're gonna have to have we had Alex on last week from Mondo to talk about the Clayface figure, which was great. Check it out.
Mhm.
I love having Alex on, but we got to get Hector and Peter back on. Man, I'm not going deep on these TMNT soft vinyls, but if I was gonna get one, I think this Baxter might be it.
Yeah. It's a good one. James Groman,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Clear
just the-
wings. It's a good looking toy.
It's
Oh,
just
that's cool.
it's just the colors and like I think I've never really thought about it, but no, Ryan, I know you would say Ace Duck, but I think the original Baxter's may be one of my favorite original Playmates figures.
Oh,
I think it's fantastic.
Baxter's awesome.
Yeah. But this is great. So this is up, I think I don't know if it's up just yet or if it's going up this week.
I think it's up already.
Yeah,
I think it went up
is too.
yesterday.
Okay. That's awesome. Jake, are you getting into any of these Turtles ones?
No, I can't because it's just too
I can't.
too much. No, I just Turtles. I've kind of, even though I was telling you before we jumped on that I almost bought some Playmate stuff, I have tried to kind of shut off the Turtles part of my collection for now. There's just so much of it, and I'm so overwhelmed with it.
Yeah.
If I didn't already own so much Turtles, then I probably would have jumped on the Mondo Safubi
Right.
stuff, but I just can't.
Very cool. Well, guys, listen. What I'm trying to do on the channel here is like I've been kind of brainstorming ways to do more videos more regularly on YHS and Toy Anxiety, and I want to be able to. There's so much news that happens throughout the week, so I've kind of been thinking about ways to do like quick daily updates, or like when the none of us are collecting the Thundercats or the Motu Origin stuff, but I think we should still cover it. But we're not going to be able to get to it tonight. So stay tuned for some of that. Let's get past the Jeffries and then we'll figure it out. But our guests are here, is what I'm trying to say.
They're here.
They're here. And we got
Yay.
it. And I don't want to keep them waiting any longer.
They've been waiting long enough.
Yeah, it makes me feel bad. Let's get them on.
All right. Well, I
Kind of rude, actually, Craig. That
it's
you.
not
Yeah.
rude. I told them
They-
all the plan.
I don't know.
I
Do this
told
on
them the
Dope
plan.
Boys,
It's not how I would have done it, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, before we get to our guests, let me list my top 100 Marvel Legends figures of all time.
And take a nap.
Now, okay. So here's what we got. I'm going to let them talk about this in detail, but I do want to go ahead and put the Kickstarter link in the chat. Anybody watching the show, whether you're here live, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or if you're watching after the fact, we've got the Cursed Dead. We've got the team here. They're going to talk about it. They're going to walk us through. We're going to make sure every goddamn person watching this show right now goes and backs this thing. That's what we're going to do. That is the goal.
Yes.
But more than anything, I'm excited to have them on because these are first-time guests for all of us. So let's pop them in right now. Boom. Jesse Falcon is here. Jesse, how are you?
Great. Can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
All right.
All right. Sorry.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
dude.
Let's bring on the rest of the team. All right, here we go. And number 3, Phil. All right. And at Playing With Myself. Hey, guys. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Howdy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I meant to reach out sooner than I did. But I'm glad we're doing this. It's the last week. Is this the most people we've ever had on Toy Anxiety? This is
It
great.
is like Hollywood Squares or something.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna play a game show.
Brady Bunch.
So let me go ahead and
Maybe Alice.
share
You
this.
would.
Screen. Let me share the screen. Okay. Whoever wants to kick it off and walk us through and tell us the story here, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a start. So my username on Instagram is at Playing With Myself, but my actual name given to me by my parents is Adam. I work my day job is I work at Gentle Giant Studios. So I'm the creative director. I oversee prototypes being made for Hasbro. We work on a ton of Marvel Legends. This is how I know Jesse Falcon, who's also here, and Phil is basically a competitor of mine. He's a sculptor who does prototyping work for a variety of different companies. But we've kind of teamed up along with Jesse's younger brother Josh, and we're trying to launch our own toy line where we actually get to do. So we've developed these prototypes, but we want to see it all the way through to completion and create our own toy line. So it's a 1/12 scale meant to go with your like 6-inch action figures, crazy amounts of articulation. So it's monsters, demons, creatures, you name it. But it's basically Phil's take on some classic monsters and also his spin on some new stuff that he got to create. So there's 2 different tiers that we have: basic figures at $40 price point and deluxe figures at an $85 price point. And then there's a bunch of bundle options to save people money as well. So I encourage people to kind of just scroll through, read the bios. I really love the bios. I had Phil write little backstories because I grew up with the 80s G.I. Joe file cards, and I loved that little bit of story and information that gets you kind of hooked, but then you use your imagination to kind of create a whole world for them. So Phil went ahead and wrote all these awesome backstories for all 9 of the characters. And the Crankle, our Christmas character, Phil is multi-talented. He's not just a sculptor, he's also a performer. So he wrote the lyrics and performed the song for the Crankle Christmas song, which is one of the creepiest things you'll ever hear. So it is linked to the Kickstarter. I encourage everyone to click the link and watch it on YouTube. I played it for my 11-year-old son, and he's still having nightmares.
Nice.
Perfect.
Successful.
How many likes to just perform the song?
Yeah, do
again?
like a
I
live
love that.
rendition. That would be
Oh,
great.
Phil, yeah, live performance.
Well, it's funny because Josh and I, the other component of these 3 guys that make up the curse, that I'm here strictly in a cheerleading capacity. But Josh and I were talking last week, and he's like, "Oh," and at one point I think that they had floated the idea that they needed to start a band, like
Oh, cool.
the 3 of them. And then,
Mhm.
like, you know, if this thing funds, like that band plays out, and you know, people who come get free action figures, and
Yeah.
that they play
Yes.
dressed up as these characters, singing songs about these characters, which
Yes.
is a detail we have not shared on any of these podcasts. So,
I love
I
that.
have no musical talent, so it would have to be like I'm like the ska band dancer guy, you
Yep.
know.
That's-
But I will cosplay and
Right away.
dance.
Just
Yeah.
what do they call it? Skanking? Is that what they call
Skanking.
that?
I believe
That
so.
was in Starmania 98.
Correct. Skanking and ranking.
So you guys all have like all of this toy industry experience. Like obviously you work for different companies, you have long histories. So like what is the origin of this project? Like how many years does it go back, and like why? So that we're seeing like a lot of different companies like do the Kickstarter model. It seems like there's a little bit more of an opportunity for people to produce independent toys, maybe even more so in the past, or maybe there's just more fan support for it than it was. So like why is now the right time to get this thing off the ground?
Well, we've been working on this for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
And it just we launched it early on in what was it, 2020?
19, we were at,
19?
November of 2019 at Designer Con,
Yeah.
and then a few months later, the pandemic happened.
Something cool.
Right.
happened.
so you had been working on this for at least, I think, a good year before Designer.
Yeah. And the idea was that, and to your point, yeah, there is a market, and the Kickstarter is a way to get something made, because it's a expensive endeavor.
Sure.
So we were trying to come up with an idea that didn't need its own incredibly unique IP, and that was immediately recognizable and could be fun and hadn't been cultivated yet.
Right. You kind of
The answer that I would throw in here about kickstarting in general is that there are a lot of companies I work with. I get to oversee a lot of great toy development in my day job, and I work with just about every toy company on the planet. And many of them, you know, rather than saying, "Well, I'm going to shell out all this money in development, make the product, solicit it, and then distribute it," like for instance, Hot Toys, their business model, and many companies like Hot Toys, like a lot of high-end collectibles companies, will make a beautiful prototype, put it up for pre-sale. If they hit the VIG, meaning if they make as much money as they need you to manufacture, then it gets manufactured, and then it becomes like a kind of a micro brew. And I think that, you know, like honestly, like companies even like Toy Biz, had this been a thing when Toy Biz was doing Lord of the Rings, Toy Biz would have made a Balrog. You know, like we prototyped the Balrog, it was massive, but nobody at retail would take it because they're like, I'm not going to give away 5 cubic feet of retail space for one item that costs $600. A real loss of time, and I tip my hat to Randy Falk for actually making one at that time at about that scale. But anyway, it's just a mechanism by which companies can, you know, put stuff together in a relatively inexpensive way, kind of like the first day.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think it's great. And like these, just talking about these different character designs, these are fantastic. Like they're so eye catching, and like kind of like you said, like there's kind of like an entry point, right? Like they're recognizable, but it's like a new take. So like who is doing like the the core character designs here?
Me.
Phil. Hi, Phil.
Hello.
So
Phil's in psychotherapy, guys. Don't worry, we're taking care of it.
okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna ask. Is he
Phil,
okay?
tell them a little bit of your background too, so that way their audience can
So
know
I started-
where you come from.
I started working in the toy industry when I was 17. I
Okay.
worked for a company called Varner Studios,
Hmm.
and by 18, I was a sculptor. We worked on the original Ninja Turtles. Like by Series 3, I was on there. Toxic Crusaders, Happy Meal toys, all that stuff. I did that for about 6 years, and then from there I went to McFarlane for about a year, and then from there to Toy Biz, where I was at for about 15 years.
Wow.
For Marvel Legends, I did about 40% of them with Falcon, and
Nice.
Lord of the Rings, I got to do the lion's share of the orcs and goblins and some of the main characters and all the Gimlis, most of the Gimlis.
All the
Nice.
Gimlis. I think Phil did the first official Marvel Legends figure. I think Phil and I were working on the Hulk for Marvel
The Hulk.
Legends before it really got kicked off. There was a couple different things in the industry that were really interesting, and I'm going to say this name wrong, but I think it's called Monev or Munv or Mun
Monev the Gale.
Yes. That was a bit. I was like, oh, this is cool. We should make a Hulk like this, and so we worked on that for a long time before we brought Dave Cortez in to help round that lineup. But Phil, I got Phil's portfolio in 1996.
5 or
And
6, yeah.
We
Nice.
fell deeply in love and have been in love ever since.
Yeah.
That's
So I've been
great.
making toys for 34 years, 33 years.
Love it. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, we're
Tell them
so
about designing these, because like you were the man behind this. Like
yeah. I just wanted
minimal
to,
input from me.
yeah, it was, I wanted to do something that was, we were going to use, we decided I built multiple bodies, medium size, big, and skinny. And we decided to go with the skinny one first because there's nothing that really looks like it. And we were able to, I built it with the idea that we could reuse the tooling for other things. So in doing that, I made the anatomy was a little bit off. There was a lot of textures and plating and stuff like that, so that whenever any color was attached to the thing, it would give it a completely new look.
sure.
And also with the overdone anatomy and overdone texture and proportions, we were able to hide all the articulation, which there's a lot.
Right.
Nice.
This is a great figure. This one kind of, something about this one pops out and speaks to me.
Dr.
The
Scante.
lab coat.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just like it.
Craig loves a good lab coat.
I do love
I-
the new lab coat.
There's two
I
lab
really
coats.
assumed that you guys were gonna love our Jin, which is like a genie, because he's got some serious Garaka vibes going
Oh
on.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slender body.
And it's funny because it's like when I realized that, I was like, oh, we should do a repaint that's kind of like a blue cold kind of theme for him, because like
that'd be cool.
there was a Disney genie that was very famous that was blue also. So like it
That's the
could be a
one.
cool paint job for him.
You know what?
Many
First
years
of
ago.
all,
Yeah.
100% right.
Yeah.
And it didn't even like, I was seeing this, and you think Ghostbusters a little bit because of Sam Hain.
Yeah.
This is a really cool figure, but yeah, I see the Garaka here.
Oh, can Phil tell you guys a little bit of Gordy's backstory? Because
yeah, let's
there's-
hear it.
not only is his backstory awesome that's in that bio that you can read, but I didn't even know about the multiple faces on his head until Phil told the story, and it's awesome. So go
Yeah,
for
let's
it.
hear it.
Well, the whole thing is each of these characters is like an anthology series, and every one of them has their own little like horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one was just basically like 80s, 90s paint by number horror kid who is a little different, lives in with his parents. They have a pumpkin farm. The other kids torture him and eventually end up killing him. And he, in his pumpkin patch, all of the vines take the kid, turn him into this. And every time he comes out and he gets one of them, a new face appears on his pumpkin.
Ooh,
That
that's cool.
rules. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, good for Gordy. Get him back.
Revenge is always
yeah,
good. For
I
everyone.
like that. It's good.
Oh,
yeah.
Phil, also, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some fans here of the ideas for packaging. Do you want to talk about packaging?
Yeah. We definitely. I think we talk about this whole thing with what a package should be with these toys. Should it be resealable? Should you be tearing it off the card? Should you save the packaging? Let's hear it.
So it's two packages because
Okay.
there's the new dead and the old dead. The demons are the old dead.
Okay.
That's the Jinn, hate and rage,
Okay.
and the new dead are like the newer monsters. The packaging for the new dead is going to be VHS tapes with a card opener, so you can see the blister inside. You feed out from the bottom, so you can take your figure out and put it back in.
Love it.
Close it back up. The Cursed Dead is the anthology series. On the back of the packaging will be each episode of the Cursed Dead series, like a big package.
Sure.
And the old dead, the demons, will all be like an old book, like a Necronomicon kind of book. Same exact
Cool.
packaging.
Cool.
Love
Open it
that.
up. It's like a book.
You're speaking our language here.
Yeah,
This is
it's
great. So guys, what we'll do is if you guys have any questions in the chat, we'll go ahead and anything that's coming to mind, we'll ask, and
Please.
as long as it's appropriate. By the way, so you guys been doing all the how's the podcast run going? I know that's a huge part of these Kickstarters.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
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 Podcasters are a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we're
No, the people are cool. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Good.
I live in a little world where I don't speak to many people very often.
Yeah.
So it's a new muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Cool.
everybody's really nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I think
Really
we've done. Obviously we kicked off the campaign on January 1st, and we're in what, January 28th now, and I think we've done like something like 20 podcasts.
Wow.
My
So,
daughter hates
at this point.
it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
She's in the other
almost
room
on
right
a
now,
daily
eating.
basis. We've done
Yeah.
some doubled up like on days as well. So
Yeah.
it's been
No.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though, because that's kind of like, going back to the why now is the right time, and like why, there's more of an audience for these types of projects. I mean, the boom of like streamers and YouTubers and podcasts in the toy space over the last 5 years is pretty wild. So
There's also
definitely.
so many facets to it, like the customizers and the photographers. There's so many like talented people doing
Yeah.
wild stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of photographers, you guys were getting photos done by 1/6 Shooter, who
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything he seems to touch turns to gold. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The
Wendigo.
Wendigo?
Wendigo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
Just Wendigo.
Yeah.
So
His
good.
picture is that's such an awesome shot, man.
He does have another prototype in hand. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get to the photograph before the end of the campaign. I'm holding out hope that he is able to, and we get a nice little surprise
Nice.
right at the end here. But between 1/6 Shooter, we had Art with Toys do some photography for us. We also had Cheney 180 from Toy Migos did some photos for us. And then we've had people from the community too. Punker Mike actually painted two of the figures. He painted Gordy and Dr. Scante and created a lab dio for Dr. Scante.
Nice.
He did an awesome job on that. And then Artman Customs, Nico Hodge, painted the Crankle for us as well. So
That's a
quite a few people
Nice.
in the toy community helped out quite a bit on these.
And I get really excited about like the lore and like the story that you're telling, and like I immediately jump ahead to like, well, what does the future of this look like? Like, what are
Thank
the
you for reading.
oh well, you got. Hey, it's not easy for me. Ask these guys, but I no, I think let's
This is for you, Greg.
no, I can read. I've read. Patrick Gerard says, speaking as a guy who has run Kickstarters, not for toys though, who is a prominent sculptor enthusiastic about a toy premise, how long would you say you spent getting these ready for Kickstarter?
I mean, we've spent years, but it's because we have day jobs and families, and you know, the pandemic happened.
Actual time for just sculpting and design, I'd say about 9 months.
Cool.
Oh, it's like having a baby.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
These are my
And
dead
It's exactly like that.
A bunch of gross, scary little babies.
Yeah.
bunch of dead babies.
Um, So I kind of have like a higher level question, but like you guys have all been in the industry for so long. Just anybody feel free to answer this, but what do you think of the current state of like toys and collectibles? I mean, we comment on this stuff. None of us are in the industry. We have opinions, but they're not I'd like to think they're informed, but they're not really. They're just us reacting to whatever's going on. But
Craig,
it does
don't say
seem
that out loud.
well, they're informed. We have informed opinions, but we're experts. But it kind of seems like this has more of a future, highly specialized collectibles for adult collectors who appreciate articulation, who appreciate the craftsmanship and like the photography and everything else.
Art of it.
The art of it. Like, do you guys feel it? I know you're in the bubble.
Falcon would be the one to talk to about this.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Thank you for pipping me into that answer, my friend.
You're the
I mean, look, guys, the truth is that, every major toy company out there has some kind of collectibles component to it. And each of those companies that do stuff in that vein, a lot of them have, intellectual properties that we all know, and I'd say there's probably like maybe about 20 of them, between all the big intellectual properties we all grew up with. I really like what the Cursed Dead is doing. It's very similar to what the Four Horsemen are doing or what Bobby Vala is doing, because in my mind, when I grew up, when I was a kid, I'd go to a toys store in the 70s and I'd walk in and there'd be something like Sectars or Micronauts. And there's no intellectual property touch. There's no Saturday morning TV show to any of that stuff. It was just a cool toy concept, cool toy idea. And I feel like that's kind of the bones of this and the companies that I mentioned. And not all of them work out, I am so excited about this line because I've seen what the next, the plan is several years of this, and I've seen what the plan is for the next several years. That the body stabilizations that they're building, there's a werewolf form factor. There's a very large form factor. They've talked about doing a female form factor and what that could look like. And if you look at the building blocks of what a company like the Four Horsemen have done, they've built an entire world, an entire ecosystem with different components in it. And I think it would be really cool to let this team have that ability to create in this medium, which is why I want this to fund very much. I don't know that particularly answers your question, but I think that there's always going to be opportunities for things like this to exist. I mean, it really will depend on what year it is and how what people's appetites are for things of this nature, and it'll ebb and flow. But I'm really excited that people can even do this now.
Yeah, 100%. No, I hear you, and I think that I appreciate it because it does harken back to a time where you could just walk into a toy store and see something and like it because of the aesthetic and not necessarily be so tied to because I think it's intimidating. Like even like something like Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series. I mean, how do you even get into a line that's been going on for 25 years? So I mean, I know Marvel Legends is a little bit of an outlier. It's kind of what makes it special, but I love getting in on the ground floor or something. Mm-hmm. So I think this is really cool. Hey, let me ask you guys this. what has been like the most surprising thing about running the Kickstarter? Has anything been kind of like good or not good? Like, has there anything been kind of like a whoa, we didn't see that coming?
The fires in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
Sucked.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
I mean,
like
it is-
launch a Kickstarter, world burning around you.
Right.
yeah, and also like I had to get evacuated. So did my
Mm.
brother and my folks. I think
You guys okay though?
Yeah. I mean, thank God. But we've all had friends that have lost everything, and we're
Yeah.
at the same time we're over here, with our hat in our hands, trying to shield this idea that we put out for 5 years, and that's one of those odd circumstances that may or may not determine where this goes. But I would say that would be number one.
Yeah. Sure.
I still haven't put away my
I don't
luggage
think
or cat carriers. They're still out there ready in
Oh,
case I
yeah.
need to go.
Right.
Wow.
I will say this. I have to give Adam a big round of applause because he and Phil and Josh have really put an incredible job together of promoting this every single day. And not just like going to meet incredibly fascinating, cool people like you, but like the music videos, the photographs, the content that Josh has put together. I think they've really done a great job of putting this together and really, holding the torch really high so everybody can see it as bright as possible.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can just being on social media, like as soon as it launched, it was everywhere and people were reaching out to us about it. So it's super exciting. So we're in the home stretch though, right? So we got what, 4 or 5 days left?
Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time is when the campaign wraps up. So
Okay.
we're hoping for a big, strong finish. Fingers crossed. We're gonna give it our all. I think we're continuing to do streams every night this week and
Nice.
posting stuff daily. So we'll see how it goes
We're,
Yeah, I
we're
saw that you guys were doing toying around with our buddy Kevin
on Thursday.
on
Unboxing.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no, I was like on Kev's. I was like, I think like episode 12 or something way back in the day.
Early
So
adopter.
it'll be nice to be back on there with him and open some toys. I buy way too much toys if you can't tell, but
Totally.
I mean,
Like we all have
Yeah.
that problem.
no, we're like-minded. It's cool.
Yeah.
Financially irresponsible.
Phil's the only one who doesn't have a bunch of shit behind him.
It's 'cause
Well,
I'm not in my,
you know what the
I'm not in my
problem is?
studio. I'm not in my studio. This
Yeah.
is
oh, I should have asked you
I'm
the
in
old.
purgatory.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I own any Toy Biz. Ryan, I know you have. Oh, what am I saying? I've got.
Oh my God! You know what? This wouldn't even happen or be a
Yeah.
problem. I wouldn't even be on this show if it wasn't for the two men below me. This is their fault.
Actually,
Because Toy Biz was 100%. Toy Biz was that. That's why I went from playing with toys to collecting toys and displaying them.
yeah.
And that goes like back to like X-Men. And then all of a sudden, right when I was like, oh, you know what? They're not really like, they're still kind of making stuff for kids. I'm getting older. I'm kind of out. Maybe just some Star Wars. Oh, hey, how about Marvel Legends? Then that was it. I've never stopped collecting Marvel Legends from the time it was created to today.
Yeah. And I
Curse you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say Resident Evil because, like,
Ah.
Phil and I did. I played this game. I'd never been frightened by a video game before. I'm like, oh, there's something real
Yeah.
special here,
Mhm.
and I got the license for it at Toy Biz, and we made it. And we, honestly, God, if you go back and look at that line, 2 packs for $7. There's
Yep.
so much hardcore gore in there that we were selling to children. Like the fact that nobody stopped us was insane. And also, like, I went back and I rebought the entire 2 waves that we did recently, and I have them. And I Phil and I were, he was over here. We were like, how do we get away with this? And I do feel like the Curse Dad is Phil's continuation, because we had so much fun working on stuff, but the truth is, I don't know if we had more fun working on anything than Resident Evil. That was a real sweet spot for us to be in.
Yeah, I remember those toys very clearly as well, and those looked so
Who's
good.
responsible for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. Yeah. I told this story, but the truth is, we used to after every toy fair at Toy Biz, when it was still in the toy building across from the Flatiron building, we had, you know, this is back in 96, 97. We had a giant like $5,000 projector because we would, you know, be selling movies. Like when the new Spider-Man movie's coming, we were saying that for 5 years, 10 years. And we, after every toy fair, we'd be up all week working on the prototypes, and then we'd have to sell stuff all week, and then it would be over, and we'd have a bit of a blowout in the toy room, and we would, you know, bring some beverages, and we would watch Peter Jackson movies, which would be like Dead Alive, or the, you know, like your OG, like the stuff that he was doing like in unison with Sam Raimi. And then at about the turn of the century, Sam Raimi gets Spider-Man and Peter Jackson gets Lord of the Rings. We were like, wait, what is going on?
What? Right. Yeah.
This is amazing. And also,
We're
like,
letting
let's
you.
go.
And the guy that did Meet the Feebles is doing Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's what happens, like, right? Like, and now we're gonna start seeing that again with like some.
I mean, it happened with James Gunn too.
Happened with James
Yeah.
Gunn.
Oh, yeah.
And
Big
then
Slither is awesome.
yeah,
But also
now-
Romeo and
Yeah.
Juliet. I remember watching
Oh yeah,
a
Romeo and
VHS
Juliet.
of Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, what? I'm like, Truman doesn't have any business putting something this good out. And it was, of course, James Gunn.
right. I like that when like the auteur horror director gets the mainstream opportunity, and it's like, oh, they're just a great filmmaker. That's what.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. They know, they understand how to execute in that medium and storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I mean, look at what Robert Eggers kind of came out of the egg fully formed as like a little Kubrick, you
Yep.
know, and like Chef's Kiss. I want him to do all the things he wants to. Do a sequel to Labyrinth? Go for it.
Go
You
for
make
it.
a werewolf movie set in the 13th century? Go for it.
Did you
Like,
see
I'm
that
on
quote
board.
this week? He said the thought of they asked him if he was ever going to do something contemporary, and he said the thought of putting an iPhone or a car on film makes him vomit.
I love that guy.
Love
I love that guy.
Good for him.
That's part of why, like, these toys, I appreciate them from that side, like looking at them and being, you know, seeing all the references in there, you know,
Yeah.
being an old horror lover and looking and being like, oh, you know, this is familiar, but in like a
Mhm.
new way is it's just cool. It's the coolest thing.
I mean, the truth
I
is, like
watched a lot of
Phil's a
horror.
really great storyteller, and he's a great visual artist. And we had a gross out competition that went for about 20 years because Phil had to physically send me these sculpts when we first started working together. He'd wrap them up, put them in a FedEx box, and we would get tapes and put them in there. And like there was an accident one time, and something was sent that was quite inappropriate, and so we kept trying to outdo each other for about 20 years.
That's
And,
fun.
Let me
That's
get
really
that
and,
fun.
photo.
and it really was an education. So I think that this is another small component that led its way into this toy line.
Well, that's like us. Every
I
week,
love
Jacob's like, "Hey, I just watched something. It's the grossest thing I've ever seen. Everybody go check it out."
You got nothing, bro. You got
Yeah.
nothing. We have seen some awful things, man.
Yeah, I
Cool,
think
we're here for it.
Yeah, this is a good
No,
company.
no, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in good company. I can't even watch The Fly.
We
without
tried.
laughing
We
out
tried to
loud.
watch the.
You couldn't
we
handle
tried to
it.
watch the fly at Craig's house, and he kept leaving the room, and I'm like, "Hey, dude,
Yeah.
this is the most
Oh.
tame
Yeah.
shit you've ever seen."
Yeah.
I was like, "This is the Fly, Jeff Goldblum. Chill
Yeah,
out."
dude.
Yeah.
You're good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would break your spirit.
He looks cute.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
If you-
something I could probably use actually.
If you ever decide to do a stop motion old school like Christmas special, but a horror movie of the Crankle, I think you should try to pitch that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Make
love
a
it.
thing.
I love that idea.
Phil,
By the
tell them
way-
a little bit more about the
Yeah.
Crank because we only have the Crankle song, but Crankle has a kind of an interesting backstory that is unbelievably creepy as
Let me
well.
find him. Let me find him.
So I wrote this thing as like like a Grinch rhyming Nightmare Before Christmas, just throwback thing. And I read it to a bunch of kids, my daughter and her friends, and they were like, "Is that real?" I was like, "It is. I just made it up." They were like, "That's terrible." The story is later it evolved, but it's basically an alien who's he's banished from his planet. He ends up here and he gets really into lore and he's really into Santa Claus. And he decides that he's gonna be one of Santa's guys and help him out. So in his misguided way, his thing is that he's learned that Santa doesn't like it when kids stay up late to catch a glimpse of him.
Mhm.
So if he runs around trying to find kids that are doing that, and if he does, he skins them or takes their parts and puts them on his Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's really funny.
creative. Using
think
all
we
the
should-
parts.
I think we should start doing that for real.
I love the
That's the
idea
new
though.
tradition.
He comes back and
If
he's like,
any
Santa.
kid hear that? If any of you have kids or are around kids,
Yeah.
I mean, up to like 12, even they'll play that song or tell them that thing is real, and it blows their
Well,
minds.
that's the
No.
thing is like I don't want to give away all my trade secrets, but I've been trying to convince Jacob for a while that holiday themed toys and this is if you can come up with the new Elf on the Shelf, you're golden,
They
right?
just did it.
Mhm.
I know. Crinkle on a ankle,
I
crinkle
can
on
do
your
better. I can do better with Elf on the Shelf.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, imagine my brother's like, oh, it's so hard. We've got nephews, and like it's so hard to get these kids to go to sleep on Christmas Eve.
Show 'em
It's like,
Crankle, yeah.
tell them that they're going to get skinned alive if they don't.
Phil's really excited to do his take on the Tooth Fairy. Also,
Yeah, I got one of
yeah.
those.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Okay.
That's
yep,
awesome.
do it.
By the way, I completely blanked. I have a giant WCW Toy Biz collection right up over to the
Mhm.
side. So
Mhm.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw you guys with the wrestling buddy.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's me, CM Punk.
oh
And
yeah,
I remember we had Ben sensors in the arms, legs, and torso of the
Yeah.
of the WCW ones.
Mhm.
And Phil and I, we had to go and like we would go on tour with the wrestlers when they were at WCW. So we were like we'd be up at the Cow Palace in San Francisco for the entire weekend when they were rehearsing to shoot a live pay-per-view event. And it was bedlam. Like to be backstage with everybody. And like I saw they had a coffin-sized igloo container, like a cooler. The only thing that was in there were hard-boiled eggs because they had to get so much protein in their body to stay inflated.
that'd be so expensive now.
Yeah.
Egg coffin.
Oh my God, you're right. Think about
Phil's
that.
awful. I bet.
Yeah.
Also, if I can break kayfabe here,
Yeah.
they're all lying about their height.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 6'4", and
Yeah.
like Bobby the Brain Heenan was like, "Who's the big guy?" Because those guys were like, I was like, they're supposed to be like bigger than me, and none of them were.
None of them are
We were
right.
recording
We're-
stuff, Bobby. Oh no, it wasn't Bobby. It wasn't. Oh, maybe it wasn't Bobby, but it was Mean Gene. We were recording.
I
stuff
mean,
with
Gene
Mean
was the one that was fucking with.
Yeah,
both-
because he was the ref for whatever this toy we were doing,
Mhm.
and I had my sketchbook, or I don't know if it was your sketchbook.
That was your sketchbook.
And he's looking at it, and we like Phil and I draw all the time, so we always had sketchbooks. And he opens up and goes, "What is this crap? Whose is this?" And I was like, "Oh, that's mine." He's like, "I hope you didn't go to art school for this."
Don't get your day job. He closes it and goes, "Don't get your day job."
Yeah.
I didn't know Mean Gene was so mean.
He was
Yeah.
actually
Oh, yeah.
mean.
Right.
Premier ball buster. He was like grade A.
That's amazing.
I'll be honest with you, like everybody was exactly the way you wanted them to be.
Yeah.
You know, there was
Yeah.
one wrestler there who had like a trapper keeper
Mhm.
of these laminated pictures of cheerleaders who were working really hard to do their job, but they were having wardrobe malfunctions. And I'm like, bro, you have this in a laminated trapper keeper?
Pre-internet. I'd hate to see
Yeah,
that
that's
guy's
a binder
desk
full of women
folder.
that you don't want.
Woo.
Oh God,
We
it
got
was
one.
horrific.
That's hilarious. I wonder who that was.
But not shocking. It wasn't shocking. None of it was shocking. It
Yeah.
was like,
Oh God,
okay,
can we
this-
guess who it was?
I'm trying to think. What is this? 98,
ahead.
99? Whew.
X Pac.
Wow,
Nope.
man, could have
He
been
wasn't in WCW.
He wasn't in
X-Pac.
WCW
yeah.
at that point.
Mhm.
Oh,
No.
maybe not.
He had left.
Was
yeah.
he an ex? Was he an ex ECW guy?
I don't know. He's still around.
It's like
He's
20
still doing
questions.
We might have to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this.
What
We
do you
might
do?
have to do
Where's
this
he
off
stuck
air.
on?
Gotta figure this out.
We have to do this off air. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Hey,
damn.
Jesse, did we meet Macho Man?
Oh, many times.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
okay.
my
I
God.
didn't make that up. Okay. I thought I made
Well,
that up.
the one time I remember it was at Cow Palace. The event had happened. You know, we were there. We saw the whole thing. And then what was really interesting, and I'd never seen this before, is we were waiting for Randy to be done so he could record some, hey brother, like whatever, stuff for the toys. And they were all, it was him, Bischoff, and two other like title wrestlers everybody would recognize. They were in like Video Village, which was like up on the like 4th or 5th floor of Cow Palace, all watching the event and how it was cut together and how it was presented to the public. And I was like, these guys really, really care very much about what they're doing for that. Because, you know, like you would just think, the show's over, I'm going to go home, you know, but like that, not at all. Like, and these guys have been doing this for, 20, 30 years. It was really a cool to see their commitment to their art.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not everyone cares. That's great.
Love wrestling so much.
I
Like every word you were saying was, oh my
so
god,
amped.
you're with Bischoff in 90. I'm like 12 years old at this point, like
You
praying
know what,
that I could be with Eric Bischoff in 90.
At that same show, we were supposed to, obviously the big wrestler was Goldberg, and we had to record him. And Bill Goldberg was the first guy I had ever seen with a earpiece headphone for his phone. So he had like a hoodie on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, yelling at somebody! What are you doing?" And I'm like looking at him down the hallway. I'm like, "Whoa, he's touched."
Something's wrong with Bill Goldberg.
And then he took his, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." he's
Talking to
somebody.
What did Bret Hart say about me? So funny. Hey, this question came in earlier, and I think it's a great. Jason Grohowski asked it. You guys all being in the toy industry, I know some of you are with actual companies, some of you are independent, do independent work, but how do you balance it? Like, is there any conflict of interest? Is there any kind of like, launching your own thing, or is it all copacetic?
Well, just to be clear, I am here in a cheerleader capacity.
Sure.
I have no financial. I've paid my money to these guys because I want to see this.
Your
thing.
little brother is.
My best friend and my very good friend and my little brother are involved in this.
Abby,
and
you're his very good friend.
30 odd years. So I want to try in any capacity that I can to get the word out.
And then I have my own company.
Right.
Okay.
I have my own company. I've been freelance I've had my own corporation for over 25 years.
Perfect.
I'm not connected to anybody. Adam works at, Adam, you got to tell your deal.
Yeah, I work at Gentle Giant, so we do work for hire for a ton of companies, but it's basically, there's not really any overlap with what we're doing and what we do for other companies. So, and yeah, I have a thumbs up blessing from my company because they're very cool place to work. I love it there. And basically it's like, I think that the overlap at all would be that we did intentionally make these to be their own standalone line, if you so desire, but we also made them to go along with basically everything that you can imagine in that 1/12 play space. So you want Blade fighting a bunch of vampires, or you want to put the demons with your Goblin Queen or Ghost Rider. You can, they go well with Mezco figures because we have soft goods on some of them. I'm a big anime guy. I watch a ton of anime with my son. We watch Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Kaiju number 8, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I collect SHF, and my son plays with them. They don't really make that many villains in those toy lines. So it's like, we have a toy line here that are like perfect villains for your other toys. So,
this will go good with Dandadan because that stuff's starting to come out too.
Exactly. And these pictures that Craig, thank you for pulling these up. This is this is kind of what I brought to the table here a little bit more than anything. Like, Phil is the sculptor designer. I, throw in my 2 cents here and there. Occasionally he listens to me, but I am all about articulation. I love articulation. I insisted this thing had to be one of the most posable action figures.
It's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are
getting
some of my
jealous.
very silly pictures of the 3D printed prototype. It's unpainted, but I wanted to really just show off some of the range of motion that we get in this. And Phil did an excellent job designing the character around some of this crazy articulation that we've worked in here. So, I think that these will be a heck of a lot of fun for people to mess with. And while people do comment that they're like, hey, this wave 1 is all based on the same base body. And it's like, yes, that is because we're trying to get our foot in the door, creating an action figure toy line from the ground up costs a lot of money. So by tooling up this base body and then tooling up additional character specific parts, whether they're heads, hands. In the case of Dr. Crane, it's a whole new arm for his entire right side. All those bits and pieces, but they work on the same super articulated base body. So at the end of the day, all of these figures are going to be a heck of a lot of fun to play with and pose.
Yeah. And I think it's a great point. And I don't think I think people watching this probably know this, but I don't know if the average person really understands just how much money it costs to tool a figure and to manufacture a figure. And I know there's a lot of people who do 3D printed stuff and that serves a specific audience, but this is a completely different, very expensive ball game. And I actually think you guys' prices are really good. Can you talk a little bit about the two style of figures, just kind of the key difference between the basic and the deluxe?
Yeah. So we have 5 basic figures at that $40 price point. They all come with at least 2 heads. The drinker actually comes with 3 heads. So the drinker is our vampire. Phil named it. They named them the drinkers because they drink blood, and it's a clever-ish name when you have like The Walking Dead and the Walkers and stuff.
Sure.
So the idea was, yes, our vampires are the drinkers, and the drinker comes with the head that's in that picture. So the closed mouth smile. He comes with an open mouth feeding head, and then also a skull head with an articulated jaw. So
Nice.
8 of the 9 figures in wave 1 come with that skull head with an articulated jaw, and that fits onto the figure itself, and it's painted to match whatever figure it comes with. So you have like this versatility where it's like, hey, you have the base figure that you're buying, but you can also make it into this like crazy skull zombie creature. And then they all come with multiple sets of hands as well. So the drinker, 3 sets of hands. There's kind of grippy hands, like claw open hands, and then fists. So that rounds out a basic figure right there. Some of the other basic figures, like once you go down to the Djinn that we were talking about, has a slight resemblance to a Ghostbusters villain, but he comes with 7 hands actually. So 3 sets of hands plus an additional hand, because he also comes with a genie
Roll it up
lamp.
a little bit.
Sorry?
Yeah, and it's to hold that genie lamp just a little bit more securely,
Oh, that rules.
and also the skull head. So the basic figures all come with like a variety of items. I don't know if everyone noticed that, because like all the stuff that they come with is in the line art, not in the. So you get a painted image on the campaign page, and then the line art, and the line art shows you what everything comes with the figure. But then also underneath each of these guys, there's links to look at more pictures or video turnarounds of all of them. So
Nice.
like the content is there as long as you're like looking through it and clicking through. So you could see the Djinn there. That's the lamp down in between his legs.
That's really cool.
The
Mhm.
demon. So the Djinn is a demon. And Phil was mentioning earlier that the demons are kind of our bad guys in our lore. And they all have this glowing blue orb involved in their sculpt somewhere. So with the genie, his is actually encased in his lamp, and the lamp is articulated and opens up, and the orb is on the inside of the lamp. And then Hate and Rage have them in their heads. So Hate has his in his forehead, and Rage has his in his mouth. And they're all like the bad guys that will come in that instead of a VHS style packaging. That's like the old book, like the Necronomicon.
Oh,
Right.
hell yeah.
So cool.
I love that. The positioning and like posturing that you're talking about with these figures is very unique and not something I've seen in a lot of toy lines. And I love it because you should be able to like change the way a character is feeling by their like body posture, and to have all those little articulated points. It's really awesome. You can just-
Totally. And
Endless
they're
possibilities.
monsters and creatures. So they're not really meant to be just standing straight up. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people
Yeah.
have these vanilla pose on their shelf. They're going to use them for toy photography or
Mhm.
like, just like cool background characters that their other characters are fighting.
Yeah. Or
So,
like stop motion. Yeah.
Exactly.
That rules.
Dr. Scante is Phil's like kind of awesome take on like a 50s sci-fi creature thing going on. So it's another,
They're
lab
like-
experiment.
they're all
Yeah.
kind of like generational. That like each of the newer ones. There's like the 50s guys, the 80s guys, the modern guys. Everyone's kind of. I'm a big horror fan, so Jesse and
Yeah.
I have watched everything together.
These are
I got a
great.
quick question about the doctor, because there's a
doctor?
background. Well, there's these backgrounds that you're using here, these little set pieces.
Bunker Mike.
Ah,
Bunker Mike
they
built
look
that.
amazing.
Yeah. He just
Very cool.
I left it with him and he's like, "Oh, I made a Dio." I was like,
Oh,
"Really?
yeah.
The thing is awesome."
Yeah,
This
I
is
know.
great.
I really
wanna
dig
keep
this.
Well, this is a fantastic project, guys. I'm super excited. We're in the home stretch, and as we know with these projects, the first couple days and the last couple days tend to be the
Mhm.
your big
Make or
time.
break
So
it.
yeah. So anything else that we want people to know? I know there was a couple people. Somebody was asking about factory stuff. I know there's trade secrets we can't give away.
I mean, these will be the idea. Our goal here, our funding goal, is to pay for full manufacturing, and it will be at a factory in China. That we quoted at 3, and we're getting a quote from a 4th factory based on a live stream that we did actually. But the factories are all in China. They're the experts. There are factories in Vietnam, and then some stuff's even being produced in Mexico these days, but not this level of injection molded like articulated action figures. It's like that's still something that has to be manufactured in China in order to get it to what we expect from
Right.
an action figure.
Yeah, and another thing too, that just in case nobody's brought it up yet. So if you are like, I want these, but I can't afford them on Friday, but I still want to support it. These are also listed on Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
And it gives you like a dang near year to make sure you can save up and get all of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have a slight markup, so you're paying a little bit extra to not pay now. You wait and you pay and when it ships is how Big Bad
Correct.
Toy Store operates. And I would say if anyone else, like if you're a fan, or if you're just a fan of indie toy lines and you can't contribute to the campaign, that's cool. Sharing helps,
Yeah.
like posting this like in any social media, getting more eyes on it, like that's why we've been doing all the streams, because we need to get the word out to as many people as possible. But yeah, we're trying to make a toy line. Phil and Jesse both mentioned earlier, we have plans for a wave 2 and a wave 3. We're excited for these. We'd like to make more, and yeah, we just hope we get the opportunity.
Thank you
Nice.
for backing, Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So, all right. So we've posted the link a lot. We're gonna have it under the description. So if you're watching this after the fact, or if you're listening on the podcast feed, go find it. Also, if you just go to Google, search Curse Dead, you'll find it. It'll be the first thing. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Jacob, do we have anything else tonight? Are we done?
Unless you want to do some sad comments, it's up
I mean,
to
I
you.
do want. I always
got
want to
some.
do. I always want to do sad comments. I'll leave
Sad
it.
comments are one of my favorites.
Do you guys want to stay for sad comments?
I am down for watching sad comments. I love
Okay.
it.
all
Yeah.
right.
We didn't
Well,
do
do
any
you
last
have
I'm a
any?
fan.
Stay for sad
Yeah,
comments.
I definitely do.
Guys,
yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna
Adam,
jump.
do
I
you
gotta take
have
my
any
kids to
sad
bed.
comments?
Hold on one second.
Oh, you're
Jesse,
jumping
what
out?
was that?
Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm going to jump. I have to put my kids to bed. Thank you
You're-
so much
Yeah, you're good.
Absolutely.
for having these guys on. Really appreciate you letting us do this. Happy to come back anytime to talk about Marvel Legends, Toy Biz,
Cool.
and the dark days of the toy industry.
Thanks, Jesse.
we'll
Yeah.
do it.
Thanks,
Later,
Jesse.
Yes,
Falcon.
and yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I've lost so many
Cool.
questions.
See you, dude.
So many questions.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hey,
Too many questions. Thanks, Jesse.
I
Um,
feel like I could definitely have some sad comments just from people's comments on our different social media platforms for
Oh.
sure.
Well,
So,
isn't it amazing that people like you at the end of the day, you guys are just trying to do something you're absolutely passionate about. You're trying to create a toy line, comes from your heart, launch something from scratch, independent toy makers. How could anybody have any but people?
Well, no, it's like it's
oh, hey, Ramen Toy, they spilled the beans, but yeah, Ramen Toy is going to be offering us our 4th factory quote option. They're in the
Oh.
chat right now.
All right, there
No,
you
but-
go.
And I'll plug Toy Collector Magazine also because the
Oh, yeah.
first, I think, 14 issues had articles written by myself and Dave Vonner. We wrote For the Culture articles.
Nice.
It's on a little hiatus right now because I've been busy with some other
Right.
things, but we'll see what happens in the future.
In terms of the talking smack, like at this point, I've been making toys for so long. I've been on so many boards where people are just like racking shit. So it doesn't bother me anymore. But I can't imagine spending the time to even click the buttons to make the comment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's always my favorite. I never actually said this, but the thing I always say is, you actually took time out of your day to write this?
Yeah.
Like,
Like you put the effort into this
Yeah.
just to shit
Yeah,
on
but
somebody.
Phil, you probably remember when people were like, or even just like you would get Hero Illustrated or Wizard Magazine or Wizards Offshoot, like the Toy Fair,
Yeah.
right? There would be
Mhm.
letters that were sad comments. Sometimes we would do
Yeah.
vintage
We've
sad
done it.
comments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
we-
read
yeah.
some of them on the show.
We should do that
Or
again.
there would
It's been a
be
while.
there would be full-on articles where it'd just be like, this toy sucks and this is why this one's the like these are the worst, you know. We would and I was
Phil
like,
worked
"Who's
on that
writing this
one."
article.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you this:
Right?
no one has ever come up to me in person and said anything like that.
no.
Right,
we
it's
never
the
will.
anonymity.
Yeah.
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 Right? It's like that's one question I want to ask Jesse about because there was a point where Wizard was like blaming him for like that's the reason why Marvel's filing for Chapter 11 and it's Toy Biz. It's Jesse Falcon. So I always wanted to get the
I was
history
around for
behind
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
around
sure
for that.
Jesse
Yeah.
wants to come back for that.
Get him back.
Yeah. I don't
Well,
think
hey, he
Go
called
down
it the
that
dark
memory lane.
days. So I yeah.
But that's the funny thing when you read those old Toy Fair, letters to the editor. They could easily be. They're like 1-to-1 copy and paste from what we see on Instagram every day.
Yeah.
And that's why we do sad comments. So if you guys aren't familiar with sad comments, Jacob Walsh scours the internet for the latest commentary on toys and action figures. And he gives a voice to the voiceless because we can't not amplify these voices.
I already
need to
love
be
this,
heard.
by the way.
Well, it is our.
Yeah,
our
I got us through COVID, honestly.
It actually cured COVID for a lot of people. A lot of people.
It
don't know
did, yeah.
All right, let me hold on one second. Hold on. All right, cool. All right, Jacob, where's our first comment from tonight?
Oh, I think we're all from Hasbro.
Okay.
Hasbro, I think they've purposefully, I've mentioned in the last couple episodes that there hasn't been a lot of posts. It's been really slow. I think it's specifically because Hasbro doesn't want to see any more sad comments on here, so they
Right.
just don't post at all.
They
But
just don't promote their own brands anymore.
there was the Marvel stream, there was a Star Wars stream. This first one came from one of their posts of something from the Star Wars stream.
Okay. Yeah, they did a stream, but they only had a couple reveals, so I can't wait to hear this. All right, here we go. Sad comments. WYHS Radio. We're back. Coming at you. Here we go.
All I ask of your company is to actually put things online for order when you actually say you will do so. Not 5 days later, not 21 minutes later, not 5 minutes later. Every other company has their product for order up immediately at 1 o'clock or whenever. You are the only company that is almost never on time. And you're a subsidiary of the parent company. Don't fail us fans again.
Damn, dude.
Okay.
He wants the
Give the name.
trains to run on time.
Do you give the name?
Yeah.
Do you
No,
give
we
the
never
name?
give. We never.
Sometimes
no.
we have before.
Yeah, we have when it's really bad.
There's been a couple
Or if
times
it's a really
where,
funny name.
well, every now and then I'll read one and I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
I won't round it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so,
My
yeah.
favorite
That,
in that comment is the I want these particularly at this time.
Yeah.
And then he goes later, 5 minutes or whatever.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there. All right,
right.
next one.
This one is also from another Star Wars post.
Here we go.
This might have been Ryan.
Oh,
Whack showings, as always. The people who keep Black Series going are what's wrong with it. No extra hands or accessories. At this point in the game, are a slap in the face.
Need hands for that slap in the face.
yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, I got one more, and this is from the Marvel. This is actually from the figures they shut off with like the mini comics.
Yeah, which I love.
This was on that post.
Okay.
It's a good one.
All right, here we go. Grand finale.
Dear Miss or Sir, I allow myself to write to you today as a huge fan of your Marvel Legends line. I'm a toy collector since years. During the last stream of your team show, a Jean Grey X Factor figure, and a lot of people complain about this X Factor Jean Grey figure. The first problem being the non-fully accurate suit. Since the figure is missing the iconic yellow boots of the character, the second problem is the face of the figure, the smiling one. Lots of fans, including myself, don't get why Jean has to have this huge smile. This really bothers us. It was a problem for the deluxe Phoenix action figure, and it's an issue now. We, as fans, would have prefer a more neutral head to go with the angry one. We have some concerns about this figure, and we wanted to share it with the Hasbro team. Thank you for your time. I hope we can find a compromise. Best regards.
Oh my God.
I love all the we.
Yes, these are great.
Yeah.
Speaking for many.
Yeah.
Also, I love that I'm picturing this person sitting down with a quill and ink. Yes, sir,
Yes,
and
telling
or
the company how to make Jean Grey smile. Like that's too much. Can't even.
I
You
handle
know
forgot
what?
the
I
Monster
think-
Energy drink as well.
yeah.
it.
I think women should smile less, and so should my toys.
Yeah, for a moment I was like, he's a little pro femme. I kind of see his point. Then, like to think that you have the authority to be like, it's not what we the fans want.
That guy thinks he's at a town hall meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
Dude,
probably
I
out of
bet
town.
when he's typing, he hears people clapping.
Mhm.
Like he's like, yeah.
And also, the smiling woman thing could also be that when women smile in his direction, generally, he feels offended.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
Those that are making fun of him, they're laughing at him.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting some.
Getting into some dark stuff.
Getting some.
Yeah,
I get,
yeah.
I don't like the way they're smiling at me.
Yeah,
My-
exactly.
Making me feel bad.
My favorite thing about that comment is how he's trying really hard to sound smart and put together, but it is like riddled with spelling errors and compromise and
First of all,
like, all kinds of
compromise
stuff like
is a
that.
cool thing. Second of all, yeah, he pictures himself as the Joker, specifically Joaquin Phoenix, like the savior of the city.
Cerebral.
As he smokes a cigarette, like walks down those stairs, and everybody's cheering about how he saved Marvel Legends.
Yes.
He tagged Ryan Ting in that, by the way.
Oh my God.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man. Well, listen, guys, tonight was a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody
thanks
for
for
being here.
having
Thank
us.
you to our guests. You guys,
Thank you for having us.
yeah,
Yeah.
feel free to hang on for a few if you want to wind down afterwards. To everybody, go back the Cursed Dead. Just a couple days left. We've posted the link. Amazing figures, amazing story from some real industry veterans and professionals. Thank you guys so much. Chat, hi, you guys were great tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more from us. We will be back next week. I think we'll probably do a bonus next week, a little extreme toy anxiety. And your mission tonight, back the Cursed Dead. Do it.
Do it.
What's stopping you?
Just
Just
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Do you not like toys?
Do you not like having fun? I'm doing a hard out because my video's gone. So we're gonna end in 3, 2, 1.
Peace.
Bye.
Always professional.